Because of the obvious threat to untold numbers of citizens, and because of the crisis which is even now developing, this radio station will remain on the air day and night.
Officials and newsmen at first discounted those eyewitness descriptions as being beyond belief. However, the reports persisted.
Listen to them. Children of the night. What music they make.
What music indeed.
Sweet, sweet music.
Sweet music. How's it going? What is up, everybody?
Happy to be here.
Senor D here. And Senor C.
Good to see you, everybody.
See?
See? I see what you did there. Ha
Ah.
Anyways. Fantastic.
Hope everybody had a great weekend and everything. Looks great on the big screen. Whoop.
Thanks, Denise.
Hope everybody had a great weekend. I know I had a interesting weekend.
Oh, you did you?
Started off with a flat tire.
I'll say, starting off with a bang. Are we?
Oh yeah. Started off with a flat tire Saturday night. That was fun. But no, had the release of Haunting History on Sunday. Video's done pretty good considering I haven't really posted anything on the channel.
That's good.
Very often for very long.
Yeah.
Funny thing though, like it's gotten a lot of likes and its views are above average.
Oh, nice.
But I lost 5 subscribers. How? I don't know.
Whatever. They're lost.
Yeah, I'm good with it. Speaking of Haunting History, tonight, guys, I do have something special for you. If you stick around, I will be playing a little teaser for the next episode that we will be releasing.
Yes.
No official date for the release yet, but a little teaser for you.
I'm excited. I can't see what you're gonna do.
It's interesting.
Now, is this the one with Spurrier?
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
Could be a good time.
Outside of that, just been staying home.
Same. I mean, I haven't really had an eventful week. I've just kind of been doing my thing, staying home, working like a dog, doing great times. Like work's just work right now. And we're starting to see the beginning of spring, and now we had the spring forward just happened on Sunday. So great times. Good to see you, Sandy. So my body's obviously adjusting to that hour difference, but we'll see what happens. It's going to be great. Thank you. Yeah, I love the intro too.
It pretty much was unanimous on the vote.
Yeah.
We did 3 different intros, and that was pretty much the winner.
And that was the one that sold it, which, I mean, makes sense. Come on.
Yeah. So I've been trying to sell my car, and I had to make a meme and post it on Facebook because I thought it was ridiculous. Like,
I got to see what this meme says.
You want to see the meme?
Yes.
All right. Let me see if I can pull this up here. Add video clip, add photo. So I made this meme because, if you ever posted anything on Marketplace, people will sit there and lowball you, or they'll say it's not worth that much because it's not, whatever. So I had to throw this up.
Inflation, people, come on.
So, like my car, it runs and it drives, and all that good stuff. There's a few things that's wrong with it, and I even have the parts for it.
What's wrong with it, Dave?
Upper control arms just need to be replaced, and a couple ball joints need to be replaced, and then the transfer case needs to be replaced. But you can drive it in 2-wheel drive without screwing up the transfer case. Transfer case is only there for the 4-wheel drive. That's it. Yeah. You just take the bar out of there, and that's it. But
Yep.
I had one person message me and throw an offer of $250. My response was $250? Fuck off.
Yeah, that's a low ball offer there.
He's like, it's just an offer. Grow up. I'm like,
that's when you should have hit him with, you mean $2,500? Add one more zero? Mm-hmm. Just to really mess with him.
Right. But he left a little group chat thing, or like left the whole thing before I could say anything else to him.
Oh,
Like, yeah.
what a parody pooper.
And then today somebody was gonna buy it, and they were on their way here. They pulled up on my road. They couldn't figure out where I lived, so they sent me a picture, showing me they're on the road. I'm like, all right, I'll come down the road with it. I get down there, they're not there, and he's like, oh yeah, I went down to Rose's, this restaurant that's over by Southwest City. He's like, went over to Rose's. I'm like, you freaking kidding me? He's like, oh, I'll be back over and all that, and he didn't come back over. I'm like, dude, I gotta leave. I got stuff to do.
Screw people.
So I told him I'm not gonna sit here and get jerked around and all that good stuff, and I was moving on.
Right.
So,
but Sandy's right. What do you expect for $1,000?
exactly.
It's a point A to point B car. There's no.
That's pretty much. I would keep it if I mean, I've been thinking about keeping it.
Oh.
Honestly, I'm
Have
still
a backup
thinking.
just in case.
Well, I love that car. I've got so many good memories in it, and with it. Yeah. So there's that.
Mental attachment.
I
But
try to
anyways,
keep it
yeah.
off there.
Is there anything coming up?
Well, at the end of the month, I'm going to a concert. So
Hey, which concert are you going to?
Motionless in White, Ice Nine Kills, and Black Veil Brides.
I'd be more excited about Ice and Kills and probably Black Veil Brides, but personally don't really. I'm not the biggest fan of Motionless.
I know. I've seen you bobbing your head a few times when I'm playing.
There's been a few songs that are bangers, but I'm not like, oh yeah, like yeah. I'd pay just to go see Ice Nine Kills though.
Dude, their stage show looks insane.
Yeah,
Looks
I'd
awesome.
love to see their live performance, but I don't know, man. I've thought about. So I know we talked about possibly doing the. Well, it kind of just depends. I know things are kind of difficult right now, but I'm definitely going to Planet Comic-Con this year. I'm really excited. I cannot wait for Planet Comic-Con. It's going to be a great time. A lot of awesome celebs.
Well,
I thought about maybe doing some interviews, but
the plans to do that fell through.
yeah, I thought about maybe doing some interviews, like just going there and just if I have the camera in time, we'll see. But it'd be interesting.
I still might come up for that weekend.
All right, I just know I have to go to a friend of mine's wedding on the 23rd, and then
You want to act like a gay couple and go?
It'd be hilarious,
wouldn't it?
I mean, speaking like I haven't. So the wedding that I'm going to, these are people that I haven't seen probably since I graduated high school. So that would be hilarious.
Just be like, no, Charles isn't gay. I used to be a chick. I took hormones.
Yeah, that's what it was.
I'm
He's
actually
very open and accepting.
We're actually having a baby.
Crash the wedding. I mean, but I was invited. Dave would be the one crashing the wedding, technically. Well, actually, no, because it does say +1. So
See,
we're invited technically.
We can act like a gay couple. I'll act like I used to be a
God.
female and stuff, and then I'll sleep with one of the chicks there.
That would be hilarious.
Boom!
Wedding crashers, but not actually crashing the wedding.
Be like, you want to see what a transvestite dick looks like?
God. I don't know, but I mean, if you still want to come up and stay, you're more than welcome to. If you actually
and we can go ghost hunting because Dan Williams and them are still coming down, and
oh, sweet.
I think they're wanting to go ghost hunting somewhere. And
yeah, I'd be all for it. I mean, I think so. I'm gonna go ahead and buy, since I'm only gonna be able to go for 2 days. I'm still gonna buy the 3 day because it's cheaper than buying individual Friday and Sunday.
Yeah.
So I will say, just being a con insider here, the prices of basically people make stuff there or people selling stuff, the prices tend to be cheaper on Sunday because they're trying to get as much product push as possible.
Yeah, you don't want to carry inventory out.
Exactly. So I will say, if you do come up, don't buy anything Friday. Or if anybody's watching and you plan on going to any Comic-Cons, like nerdy, geeky stuff, tend to buy your stuff the last day.
Hey, I will say the last Comic-Con I went to, that the one that Josh Hurd and we went to, we had a panel at Comic-Con back in 2019, I think it was.
Was this what time of year? Was it spring or was it fall?
This spring.
Spring, yeah, it'd be Planet Comic-Con. Okay.
Yeah, it was Planet
Because
Comic-Con.
there's 2 in Kansas City.
Oh, I know this one's Planet Comic-Con. In fact, I still have my little booklet and stuff that has my name in it. I'm like, hell yeah. Anyway, we went there, and like, I'm not a big sci-fi nerdy kind of
You don't
guy.
have to be.
I know that's what I'm getting at. Like there was stuff there I thought was cool shit. Like the Resident
Yeah.
Evil setup they had there was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
They had the DeLorean and
Yep.
the dude that's supposed to be the Marty McFly lookalike that was there.
Yes. Oh, sorry, Denise. The dates are the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th of April. I don't know when you're going to Vegas, but yes, those are the 3 dates. I'm so excited. Yeah, the setups they do or not sets, but like the props they do, they're freaking awesome. When I went to,
Hello, Lori.
good to see you, Lori. When I went to, what was it, Star Wars Celebration up in Chicago back in 2019? Oh my gosh, they had like life-size Lego like X-wings and TIE fighters from Star Wars. It was the coolest thing ever. Like it was so neat. Like these were giant, obviously giant X-wings, and these are just spacecrafts. People that don't know Star Wars, but I'm a big nerd. If you can't tell, may the luck be with you. It's my Irish shirt. I'm pre-Irish celebrating.
My thing was like the ticket or the amount that you had to pay to get a picture taken with somebody. I'm like, man,
it's a little on the pricey side.
A little bit. Alice Cooper was a lot, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, what do you expect?
He was almost as much as Jason Momoa.
It's Alice Cooper.
I know, right? I really wanted one with him, but I was not going to pay like $100.
That's when you stand in line and be like, take a selfie of you with Alice Cooper.
You can't. They will come after you.
I mean, if you're quick about it.
No, they've got people watching for that stuff.
That's fair. Hi, Cassie.
I can't remember who it was. Somebody. Oh, it was Tyson. Tyson was there. Tyson Catcher. And he did that, and they came up to him and berated him about it.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Delete the picture. What do you mean? I didn't take no
picture. They didn't tell him to delete it. They just told him that if he does it again, he's going to be escorted out. Yeah. I was like, Tyson, take another one and run.
Just run, boy, run.
Take a picture with the people telling you not to take a picture.
Yes. Well, okay, and just as a side note, but one of the things I always look forward to is there's this homemade root beer, like little shack that gets set up. I think they're out of Topeka, Kansas, but I can't think of what the root beer is called, what the company's called. But they make their own root beer and they bring it to the con. It is so freaking good. They do little cool bottles too that it comes in. But I am so looking forward to that as well. I'm getting my root beer fixed, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, if you still want to come up, you obviously are more than welcome to.
Yep. I'm still planning on it. I know what you were getting at earlier. What's coming up?
Yes.
The Haunting History Paracon in October is going to be happening. Guys, if you haven't gotten your tickets yet, you can get them on Eventbrite. Just search the Haunting History Paracon and get your tickets there. You can get individual day tickets, or you can get 2-day tickets, or you can get the VIP pass, which gets you into everything, including the concert, the gallery reading, and the film contest, if you want to go see that. We are going to be working on some locations to be investigated for the event, so you'll have to kind of stay tuned for that. We haven't announced any just yet. But yeah, got a great lineup of guests. We even have some cool people that are going to be there that aren't going to be guest speaking, but they're just going to be there because they're awesome like that, including Denise Pridemore. Denise and Ron will be there. The concert is going to be held by, or going to be performed by Josh Hurd of Malvern Manor and my good friend Randall Shreve, who, if you've seen the Into the Light movies and you've watched the credits at the end, those songs are Randall Shreve. It's going to be an awesome time. Tickets are not that expensive. They're cheaper online than they will be at the door. So get them there. Get them on a hot.
Yeah.
Get them on a hot.
Now, I'm curious. Are you going to try to do 2 investigations or just 1?
I was going to do probably 1. And it's kind of tricky right now because people that know me know that there's somebody in that area that I do not like, and that this person has contracts with a lot of places in the area, and I don't do business with the people she is contracted with.
Yeah.
So that puts a little bit of a limit on things, but not so bad. But we may be looking at 2. There's at least one. There will at least be one. And those tickets are going to go like,
Well, I mean, sign me up, obviously, but save a ticket for me, man.
Now the VIP tickets, they do not include the ghost hunts.
Okay, so that's just the con itself.
That's for the con, the concert,
Okay.
the gallery reading, and the people that get the VIP are also going to get like a little goodie bag. And we'll probably have like a dinner or something together or something. I don't know. We'll figure something else out.
Okay.
But
Sweet.
yeah. That's coming up. Also, guys, if you want to help support the channel, you can head over to the Haunting History store at hauntinghistory.threadless.com. And if you look right there in the middle, there's a Boogeyman radio shirt. It's got the UFO sucking up Sasquatch. And on the back has our website on the back. And you can get one of those shirts at the Haunting History store and show your support for us. We greatly appreciate it.
I need to go get a shirt.
I'm going to. Let me get it. I'll order it because I'll be able to get it for cost.
All right, sure. Just have it ready for me for Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Because I freaking cannot wait. I'm so excited. But yeah, all right. So let's get into our topic, shall we?
First unusual thing is I've got a fly flying around me again, and it's
how strange! How strange indeed.
Weather warms up and the flies come out. What the hell is this all about?
Of course,
that rhymed.
Usually how it is. That's usually how it is, my friend. But hey, that's okay. It keeps him spirit, and he's gets
free gropes.
Kill him. Yeah. What?
Free gropes,
right? That's what the VIP cost is. Yeah, free gropes.
That's what you're gonna get.
Cassie's So Sassy gonna be there. Can't wait to see that too. Whoop, whoop. So it's gonna be a great time. We're gonna have a great lineup of friends and family, and it's gonna be wonderful.
It's gonna be a hell of a weekend. We're gonna get trashed.
It's gonna be a great weekend. I was wondering what's wrong with you.
Yeah, there's a fly around here that's like flying into my face. I'm like, making all these faces and stuff. So
exactly. If Dave starts like spazzing on his face, it's not Tourette's or possession. He's just a fly in the room. He's not having a heart attack, guys. He's fine. He's just.
I'm just trying to avoid the fly. I'm afraid of him.
Gropes are the unspoken bonus.
I'm sorry, boner.
What?
What?
Did you say boner? What?
All right.
Anyways.
So, speaking of boners, tonight we are talking about mysterious places.
It's quite mysterious, if you ask me.
You like how I led in with that? It was very
pretty
smooth.
Good. That was smooth. That was nice.
Smooth transition.
Yeah.
Always get my hand. She's got an innie, not an outie.
Jesus. All right, so the first place I'm going to talk about, because to me it's always been quite mysterious, and I don't know.
I'm not even drinking.
The history and stuff from it. I'm going to talk about the Island of the Dolls.
The Island of the Dolls.
Yes, because we know a lot of people know about this one. I mean, I would say it's probably one of Ghost Hunters' definitely not most, but one of their more popular episodes. Or not Ghost Hunters, Ghost Adventures. Sorry. Yeah. I remember the doll opening its eye by itself. Like, it's like, whatever. So, yeah, the way that this heads into, many of us played dolls in our childhood. Even after growing up, we can't leave our emotions to the dolls that can be found there and found here and there in our house. It may be that you're not taking care of the dolls anymore, but in the dark of night, it's hauntingly roaming the halls, rooms, and dining in your house. But you may not be able to know it, and you see the doll to be always beside your bed or on the sofa with a cold stare. With the dolls like, from the Hollywood movies Child's Play, Annabelle, Dead Silence. In human psychology, fear of dolls is called pedophobia. Huh.
Pedophobia?
I hate you. I'm not like super scared of dolls, but they're just creepy as crap to me. Denise gets me every time. If these sufferers have to go to Mexico Island.
Mommy, please hold me.
Is that the
one that turns her head? Yeah. Hey, girl.
Does it go off with EMF? Or when anything gets close to it? Is it one of those?
No. It's got a sensor in here. but that's what
What
you
does
see
it
in
do?
Flash. That I think I'm not sure what that one does.
Is that just one of Abby's dolls, or is this a ghost hunting tool?
I use it for ghost hunting.
Okay.
Let me shut her off. She'll shut herself off after a few minutes. If you don't place an accessory in her hand, she'll shut off. Power switch. Doesn't say anything about.
Well, the island is located at the south center of Mexico City. The island has a reputation for its beautiful nature and picturesque scenes, but the difference from other
Yeah.
Mexican islands is that there are a lot of unworldly activities that have been reported on the island. In fact, the island becomes even more dreadful after the indigenous inhabitants started to practice a strange ritual as a way to prevent various haunting events. The island first came to its attention. My phone
Now,
died. The
Lori.
event being held at a different location.
No, it's still being held at the same location.
Yeah.
And I will give you a heads up.
The island first came to our attention back in the 1990s when the Mexican government decided to clean its canals, and some people reached the island in the process. They found hundreds of creepy-looking dolls mysteriously hanging everywhere on the island. You will be indeed scared when you look at these dolls. They are quite creepy. But since an accident that occurred in 2001, hanging dolls has become a part of a ritual of the indigenous inhabitants. Today, you may find thousands of eerie-looking dolls scattered here and there on the island. That's why the island is now famously known as the Island of the Dead Dolls, or Doll Island. It all started with the story of young Jane, man named Julian Santana Barrera. Legend has it that about 6 decades ago, Julian arrived on the Doll Island to live in peace. But a few months later, a girl mysteriously died by drowning in a water reservoir on the island. It was later revealed that the girl had come to the island on a trip with her family and was lost somewhere. After this tragic incident, there began to happen various haunting events. Then one day, Julian sees a doll floating around, just where she drowned. What's up, Josh? He brought the doll up from the water and hanged it on a tree stalk. He did it so that the restless spirits of the girl could rest in peace. Since then, whenever he went outside, he could see a new doll hanging there. Gradually, the number of dolls increased on the island. In 2001, Julian had also died under mysterious circumstances at the same spot where the girl had died. Many believed the insatiable spirit of the girl was the culprit behind Julian's death. After this incident, the islanders began to place dolls in the trees to satisfy the ghost of the dead girl, and gradually it turns into a ritual throughout the time. Throughout the time, after long exposure to sun and rain, the dolls have now taken the horror looks to freak anyone out. It's so creepy. But that's not the end of the story. It is said these dolls also haunted by the ghost of the dead girl. In their words, in the dead of night, the dolls become alive and whisper to themselves. Alright. Whether for the emotion to that dead girl or to feel the hauntings of the hanging dolls, every year thousands of tourists come to visit this mysterious island of Mexico. In these days, the Dolls Island has also become a special attraction for photographers. Makes sense. Makes total sense. In addition to these eerie dolls, the island also boasts a small museum with some articles from local news about the island and the previous owner, where in a room is the first doll that Julian collected, as well as Augustinita, his favorite doll. Now, how can you get to this place? The Island Doll is an hour and a half from Embarcadero, yeah, Cuemanco.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. The only access is via Trajinera, whatever that means. Most rowers are willing to transport people to the island, but there are rare those who refuse to because of the superstition. The journey approximately is about 1 hour, includes tour of the ecological area, Jolote Museum, Apatloco Canal, Teshu Ilo Lagoon.
You're gonna summon something if you're not careful.
Maybe. I could be saying like I know it's not.
Maybe you're putting a
laughing,
curse on yourself or on somebody in the
but I hope
chat.
not. Wake up and there's a random doll like at the foot of my bed. That would be so scary. But that's basically it. It's just talking about where you could find it and stuff like that. It's always been a creepy place. I mean, I would not go there.
I would go there. I mean,
Yeah.
I would definitely go there. I don't find dolls creepy, but I'm sure, like, you know, if I saw one like walking around or moving a lot, not like just like that's not gonna creep me out. But like if it like kind of stands up and like and then sits back down, I'm like, oh yeah, fuck that doll.
Yeah.
You know, I'll
Now,
Kick it across the road.
Vlad the Impaler's yard. He would if he lived today. Yeah, absolutely. That's what that would look like. Now, one place that I would love to go to and I've always wanted to go to is Dracula's Castle, but that's just me.
Yeah. Nope, that's me too, bud. I'm right there with you.
Hmm.
Dracula's Castle has got there's just because of the history, like it's got that air about it, you know?
Yep. I would love to go in and just feel the area. I know it's going to be a lot of like suffering and pain and stuff because dude was a sick and twisted and demented guy, but
Oh, he was smart.
he was very smart. Very, very smart. He kept his enemies away by putting his enemies on stakes.
Exactly.
Smart man.
Warfare, tactical.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, what's the best way to ward your enemies? Show off your dead ones.
Exactly. Like, oh, you want to come here and mess with me? Well,
This is what'll happen to you.
think again.
All right. So which one are you going to talk about?
Now, this one I'm going to talk about kind of ties into the city of Atlantis.
Ah, yes.
Okay. Now, the lost city of Atlantis, that has captured people's attention and their imaginations for thousands of years, even though there's no real proof of it. No proof that it ever existed.
Mm-hmm.
It was first written about by Plato in 360 BC, who described a continent populated by wealthy people who had developed advanced military and technological capabilities. Despite that fact, Plato's stories about Atlantis were fictional. Many people believe they were based on fact and have searched for proof of the continent. So far, however, nobody has discovered it. While they might not have found proof of the sunken city of Atlantis, there are still plenty of creepy things found at the bottom of the ocean. Now enter this location. This is, I'm going to show you the aerial. Check this place out.
A giant butthole.
Giant, it's a cat's butthole. This is the Rashat structure of Mauritania.
Sorry.
It has captured the attention of astronauts for about as long as NASA has sent humans into orbit around the Earth. This circular geologic feature is thought to be caused by an uplifted dome. Geologists would classify it as a domed anticline.
It totally looks like a puckering butthole. Just saying.
Right. That has been eroded to expose the originally flat rock layers. In this type of geologic structure, rocks exposed in the center of the bullseye are older than the rocks forming on the outer rings. This structure measures 28 miles across and is made up of igneous and sedimentary rocks. There are several faults visible where strata that were once continuous have been shifted apart. Most of it lies within the Sahara Desert, where dry climate conditions and periodic droughts create difficult living conditions. Approximately 3.7 million people live in Mauritania, though much of the population lives along its Atlantic coastline, only 300 miles away from this structure. So now, this was a picture taken from astronauts at NASA. God damn it, I love you, Cassie. So yeah, these astronauts took this picture, or one of the satellites took this picture. But what was interesting to me was this other photo where they did this coloring to it. And if anybody knows anything about the city of Atlantis, it was basically rings of water with rings of land, with the city, the major part of the city in the center, and this with the coloring makes you go,
Let
right?
me pull up a picture here.
All right, hang on a second. Just let me know when you're ready. Now, in this photo, they obviously colored the desert green and parts of the interior blue, which, if you think about it as water, this is the exact description of Atlantis.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's 28 miles across
Oh my gosh.
and
Yeah.
you have these rings of land with these rings of water, could we not be looking at Atlantis?
And just to go by another name too, they call it the Eye of the Sahara. I don't know if you mentioned that,
No,
but
I didn't.
they also refer to it as the Eye of Sahara, just because of where it's placed, how it looks like. But yeah, if you look at that, you can clearly see what looks like rings. It just makes sense that this is how it'd be. Now I do have the picture ready, so I'm gonna go ahead and just throw it up there.
Hang on a second.
Okay.
One more thing I want to point out on this picture, though. If you look towards the bottom and to the left, from these rings, there is a river that heads out towards the Atlantic Ocean. And with that being said, I'll turn it over to you.
All right, just real quick, I want to show them this picture. So
Yeah.
this is what Atlanta is supposed to, like, they say is what it's supposed to look like. So you take that picture, mixed with Dave's picture, and it just makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Like, you have the rings, you have the inner one with the capital, the best part of the city would be, or whatever it is. And that's just how it would be. Now, some think it's much bigger. Now, throughout culture and pop culture, some people refer to Atlantis being underwater, right? The ancient water, or the ancient city under the sea.
Right.
Well, who's to say at one point Atlantis wasn't consumed by the ocean, and then eventually, once the water separated, all that was left was the ringed structure. Now I'm going to share my Google. Do you want me to share the Google image? Or you want to wait a second?
Yeah, go ahead and share it, and we'll talk over on it.
All right. So I also pulled up the Google Maps, and so we can get like kind of a we won't be just looking at the structure. We're going to look around the structure and where the water possibly came from, and I think it just makes a lot of sense.
If you take this into biblical terms as well, too.
Oh yeah.
You can take the Pluto writings and the Bible, and if you mesh that together, there's a lot of people that believe this was possibly Atlantis.
Absolutely.
All
right, so here we are.
Let you go ahead.
So here we are at the Pucker and Bowl.
Pucker and Bowl
structure. Yeah. So clearly we have our big structure, and then the river that Dave's talking about runs along here. Okay. So when you start to zoom out, and then go south a little bit, you have this giant opening right about here. This is where they think the water came from and rushed in.
And it looks like the sand has kind of spilled in too now.
Yeah, it looks spilled and dragged. Like this is all different, like mountain ranges and stuff. Like the elevation changes, and I can actually show the elevation real quick. Boom, that's what that looks like. So obviously higher around the outside. So that's perfect for the water to rush in through here and fill up that perfect bowl, right? So let's go back to the layers and look at the area surrounding it to the southeast. So you look at this drag. It looks like water's been dragged across. And you follow where this dragging comes from? Oh my gosh, it's the freaking ocean. Right? So you look at that and you look at how much and where the water came from. That's a huge gap opening. Now you can see why they call it the Eye of the Sahara, right? It kind of looks like it. A giant eye. So the water rushed all the way through and around there. Now, obviously, to me, it seemed like it broke in through this southern part compared to up here because it's a higher elevation up in here compared to down here. So the water came in, rushed through here, but water was surrounding on both sides if you really look at it. Now, one little fun fact that I want to add here, all this white that you see, that's salt. That's dried up salt from water, from the ocean. All that, giant chunks of it, that's all salt. And it goes on for miles heading back to the ocean. Now let's follow it going north, okay? So you follow it north where the water would have come in. Let's see, get back here, lost my spot. There's the structure. So what I think happened, water came in, different elevations, and you can follow this drag go all the way up, coming up through, and then it goes right back into the ocean. Up through this
Now-
way. I think it went through these areas. Now, it may have not come all the way through, but it looks like it would have. Like the drag seems to kind of end right
In
here,
areas,
like coming
yeah.
coming back. Like that looks like it's going like down and to the left. Is where
Now
the
let
water
me
drag
just
looks
let me
like.
just say this now. Why we think this is an interesting and why this is kind of a mysterious thing. Well, if you think about the in biblical texts, the Bible is set in the Middle East, right? So
Mhm.
zoom out further on that, would you? All right. So in the Middle East, we have where the biblical stories are coming from,
Red Sea, Egypt.
including, and in those times, all this in Egypt was green.
Mhm.
And
All this was all green. It was all lush green. It was as
So-
green as down here.
So one of the things in the biblical text was the Great Flood. So before the Great Flood, I'm going to assume that the water levels were a little bit higher. But when the Great Flood happened, it probably washed out the parts of the continent, and especially the area of the eye. And I think that what was being described was this eye as possibly being Atlantis, and then the Great Flood happens, destroys it.
Well, I mean, okay, so who wrote about it? Who do we say was the one that
Pluto.
wrote about Pluto?
Pluto,
Where did
Plato.
Pluto come from?
I think he was from Greece.
Boom. Greece, Sahara. Greece, Sahara. Like it makes sense.
And the
Here's the Rashad
traveling,
structure.
the amount of travel that happened back then at that time, I mean,
Well, I mean, you got to think people were traveling all through like the ocean coming through here. Mediterranean Sea was a main hub for all sorts of trade for different nations. So it would make sense that if the water traveled through that way, that people could get to this city and follow it from the ocean, getting up there, and the river could have been much bigger by that time too, so they could follow
Possibility.
the water back into the Rashad structure. Like if it came through like the mountain range before it was swept away, it could have come from the ocean or from somewhere else, and that could have been their way. The easy travel to get there was from
now
that river.
full disclosure, and this might come to a shock as to some of you, we're not geologists. We are
No,
not,
we're not. No, we're not.
We're
We're
not
not experts.
archaeologists or
We
any
just
kind of
take
expert.
what we see in front of us.
This is all based on assumption. So, in our opinion, you might have a different opinion. It's cool. You may know more things than we do, but this is something that we found fascinating with this. Just looking at it, and this has got to be, to me at least, one of the most mysterious places on Earth. Like with the description of Atlantis basically matching the look of this eye. Could it be Atlantis? Could it have been
The
possible?
world may never know. The
Well,
world won't ever know.
Till we have the
You know,
ability to time travel on
it would be really cool to. I guess it's the Eye of Africa. Whatever. Eye of Sahara, Eye of Africa, same thing.
I've
It'd be
heard
really
the Eye
cool
of
to go in there. Yeah, see, Eye of Sahara, boom, right there. It'd be really cool to go in there and just do like archaeological dig sites.
I would laugh
see
if
what
there
you
was like a
could find.
gas station in there.
That would be funny.
And it's only 99 cents a gallon.
Not today's economy.
No, that's why it would be funny. 99 cents a gallon right here.
Right.
If you can make it.
Yeah, if you can make it, because there's only one road, maybe?
Maybe. I don't know if there's even a road.
I don't
It
see
looks like you're looking at Freddy Krueger's face.
It does, doesn't it? Looks a little messed up. But yeah, I've always thought the Rashad structure has been very, very interesting. And I don't know what this. Oh, it's a line from the region. Okay, yeah, there is one road. It leads to there. That's it. So I'm
That part.
sure.
Outer
Okay,
rim.
so there it is.
Is that a city
There's
down
a
there?
City. Yeah, it is a city.
Woo!
It is a city, and then they can follow it. Let's see how far that goes. See, city's right there.
Probably have dirt tracks. And...
Oh, I'm sure these lines are like part of the tracks to get there. Or I guess, well, actually, that would be higher up, so they'd have to go around it somehow through here.
No,
You'd
you're
have
right.
to go. Well, that's a complex of some sort. Interesting. What the heck is all that? Okay.
For
Looks like it's
another
like
time.
blacked out cities. Anyways, so yeah, I would say they'd have to follow this up and around and go that way.
What's another one you got?
All right, so another one I'm going to talk about. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about.
Oh my, they ain't geologists. Nah, we ain't geologists.
We're not
We
geometrists.
I would love to be an archaeologist, though. I think that would probably be my ultimate dream job, is to be an archaeologist. I
That'd
would
be cool.
love to go out and discover. But here's the thing about archaeology. You can't be an archaeologist if you're in the library all the time. Got to get out of the library. You know who said that?
Talking to me?
Indiana Jones.
Oh.
Yeah, I was talking to you, but that's fine. All right, so I'm going to talk about Jatinga, India.
Ooh.
So Jatinga is a lush, scenic, usually tranquil Indian village nestled comfortably within the Boreal Hill Range, known as the headquarters of Dima Hasso district. It is also a famous resting place for many species of birds, for migratory birds, including kingsfishers, Indian pita, green-breasted pita, green pigeons, black dragons, jeez, can't talk, racket-tailed drongos, whistling ducks, spotted doves, emerald doves, and gray herons. So a lot of birds come here, right? So for the last few decades, however, a bizarre and ghastly occurrence has gripped the quiet village. Most research indicates the birds are most active during the day, but almost every night almost every night at sunset between September and November, on a 1.5 kilometer, almost a mile, strip of land, hundreds of birds descend and, like a massive dark cloud, crash into buildings and trees at full speed. So the mystery surrounding this phenomenon is even deeper than it seems. The most puzzling thing to me about this phenomenon is that so many species of diurnal resident birds should be on the move when, by definition, they should be fast asleep. Fast asleep. The problem deserves a deeper scientific study from various angles, said Salim Ali, India's leading ornithologist. Some argue that it isn't avian harakiri, as the locals referred to it, but rather a natural occurrence resulting from the birds' attraction to the light and their hapless flight towards anything with light source. Some ornithologists believe there is a connection between the phenomenon and the electromagnetic forces of the area, namely the geographical fault lines that surround Jacinta. Jatinga birds' occurrence dates back to at least 1905, when the area's original inhabitants witnessed the startling phenomenon, and although frightened, interpreted it as a gift from the gods. EPG, a British tea planter, made a reference to, I'm just messing up today, aren't I? Made a reference to the bird suicides in his book 1957 book.
Wait, what?
Wildlife of India. Jatinga has become a famous spot due to the bird suicide. Sadly, though, no one mourns the loss of these creatures. Villagers trap the dead birds in bamboo sticks and consume them with gusto. So, basically, it happens like, hey, we got free food. Look at this, guys. The hunting's done for us.
Bat.
Yeah, the hunting's done for us. We don't have to do anything.
They're going to die anyways. Might as well get out there and have some fun with it. Baseball bat, tennis racket, something like that.
Of a great meteor. I'm now reading his comments.
I know. But what was it, over about the past 10 years? There's been several locations where birds have just mysteriously started falling out of the sky.
Weird.
And
right?
did they ever? I don't know that they ever came up with a conclusion as to why this, or was it all just theoretical stuff?
It's all theoretical. I mean, most of the stuff that I've heard is it's just Like somehow the electromagnetic field messes with their navigation
Yeah.
and just
They just give up, like,
they
oh, fuck it.
crash. Yeah, they crash and die. Like they either hit something or they just dead. Well, what about the occurrences where, like randomly giant like amount of fish just wash up onto the sea dead or wash up on the shore dead? Is that something in the ocean? Well, if it was something in the ocean, why isn't more sea life and creatures dying? Why is it just these fish?
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah. Hey, you know, if it is an EM, like say it's like an EM pulse.
Yeah.
Like if it's not happening around, like I can get it, like not happening around, you know, cities and towns and things like that. But an EM pulse in a town would be pretty obvious because you would have,
Well,
you know, outages.
yeah. I mean, not to mention too, we're very sensitive to EM. Why is another animal sensitive to it too? You know,
Right.
Wouldn't other animals be sensitive to it like we are?
So I wonder if so this place, I wonder if it sits upon like a ley line, or if there's you know, there's some spots where there's a higher magnetic field, like the zone of silence, the Bermuda Triangle.
Well,
You know, those areas that we talked about last week.
yeah.
They have higher EMF or magnetic fields than other spots on Earth.
When you say ley line, are you just saying like a natural one of the lines of the Earth? Because I would love to be able to go like, is this a physical thing that I can put down and see on a map?
Yeah, they have ley line maps.
Okay. Guess I don't really know how. I'm sure it's not on Google, but that'd be interesting to see.
Interesting.
I don't see any ley line like maps.
All right. I know there are some. Forgot how to spell lay. How they spell it. It's not just LAY.
Oh, I was gonna say, I was like, really, Dave?
LEY.
LEY.
So while you're doing that, while we're kind of checking that out, I did promise you guys something. For those of you that were here earlier, I'm going to give you guys a sneak peek. It's not really a sneak peek.
I didn't know that either, Justin. Sorry.
Yeah, I saw it.
That's really neat. That's something I have to dig into.
So I told everybody before, because we only have like 13 minutes. I'm gonna give everybody a little sneak preview kind of thing of the next episode of Haunting History. It's not a really in-depth teaser, but I think you guys will enjoy it. No date on when this is going to come out. Probably in about a week or two, somewhere around that area. So, without further ado, this is a
story of a girl.
This is the Carpenter's Mortuary teaser.
Part of the stuff that we do is a haunted attraction called Carpenter's Mortuary Spook House. The old man was I.W. Carpenter, the original kind of patriarch of the family. He immediately set about creating several different retail spaces around the area. And he had two sons, Ray and Roy, and Ray was a mortician, which wasn't totally uncommon back then, to have a retail space where you also embalmed bodies, but that's what this was.
Stop! What? Someone just grabbed my leg.
Children, have you ever met the Boogeyman before? No, of course you haven't, for you're much too good, I'm sure. Don't you be afraid of him if he should visit you. He's a great big coward, so I'll tell you what to do.
I thought about using that song for the Boogeyman radio,
I think it was perfect.
but yeah,
I'm ready.
I can't wait for you guys to see the whole episode. It's gonna be longer than normal. It's gonna be actually about an hour long, so
I can't
a
wait.
lot of
So
stuff going
excited.
into it. A lot of stuff.
From what I remember, it was a good episode.
What you've seen of it?
Yes. I haven't seen
Yeah.
everything, of course.
No. So I run stuff by Charles, just so everybody knows.
Just a little bit, not everything, just a little bit.
Now Charles has seen maybe just the interviews basically.
Yeah. Well, I saw that part with Spurrier there.
Oh yeah.
That was it. That was it. Now you did show me with the last episode of the Underground Eureka Springs. You did show me a really good portion of that before it came out, which I was very thankful for because I love that episode. I love Eureka Springs, so it's just great.
Yeah. Like I said, that one. This Carpenter's Mortuary one's gonna be it's been a blast to edit, and it was a blast to investigate, and I think people are gonna enjoy that. So just keep an eye out on that. If you don't know where to see it, it's on Haunting History YouTube. Just go to youtube.com/haunting history and just subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and hit the bell for notifications, and you'll get notified whenever the video goes up. And I'll also be posting on the Haunting History Facebook page. So there's that. I had one more place that I want to read about real quick. And the reason I even chose this place is I've seen so much stuff about it. I don't know what to believe anymore. And it's the Devil's Tower here in the U.S. It's located in the Black Hills in Crook County of Wyoming. The Devil's Tower is definitely among the most interesting sightseeing spots in the U.S. It is a giant volcanic rock with a height of 1,267 feet above the ground, and it's 5,112 feet above sea level. So what makes it unique is the shape of the tower, which raises straight to the sky, is filled with thin pieces of rock that allow visitors to climb on it. Although the date of the formation is still uncertain, geologists have discovered how it was created. Apparently, the giant tower is in fact what's left of a large mass of rock that came out to the surface through several beds of overlying sedimentary rocks. As time passed by, natural events such as rain, wind, storms gradually modified the shape of the tower by eroding the volcanic rock. The properties of the volcanic rock make the tower to change its shape easily. So those who get there at the right place in the right time can notice large pieces of rocks and even giant columns falling off the main volcanic rock. And there was a thing going around on YouTube a while back about it possibly being like an ancient tree stump that was petrified, and then just I don't think that's right.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not geology that draws people to this particular natural masterpiece. As evidence suggests, the name of the Devil's Tower was first given by the Colonel Richard Irving Dodge. He discovered the rock formation during one of his expeditions in 1875. In fact, the colonel named the structure the Bad God's Tower, but it was changed in time to the Devil's Tower. There are other names related to it as well, including Grizzly Bear Lodge, Greyhorn Buttle, and Hehoda Paha. Also, the large number of legends are related to this place. One of the more popular legends about the Devil's Tower comes from the Kiowa tribe. According to it, there were 7 sisters who wandered outside the village they lived into the forest, and as they walked around in the wilderness, they got lost. Later, they were attacked by a giant bear. While the girls prayed for survival, The earth started rising beyond them, creating the Devil's Tower, and the 7 girls were turned into stars that now are known as the Big Dipper Formation. The mystery surrounding the Devil's Tower is definitely among the main reasons why people visit it a lot. Nevertheless, the shape and the surroundings turn this place into an unforgettable natural sightseeing and object. There was also, from what I remember reading, tales. I'm not saying this is fact. There was also tales about Native Americans doing rituals on top of the mountain.
Yeah.
Whether that's true or not, I don't know.
Well, maybe
But-
I know.
But the biggest thing is, like, the biggest takeaway for me with the Devil's Tower is that the sacredity of that Native American land there. You don't mess with Native American land. Like, if it's sacred land, you don't even
No.
pick up a rock. You don't you don't even look at it funny. Like that stuff I will not mess with. Like anything that's Native American lore has to do with Native American lore.
Don't touch it.
I don't play around. I will not play around. But yeah,
I don't mess with anything Native American either. It's just you're asking for it.
and it's out of respect too.
Yeah, absolutely.
But those are just a few of the places that we had pulled up to bring to you guys. We are going to be talking a little bit about a couple other places. One, the Hibachi Forest in Romania, and what was the other one you had?
I had. Give me a second here.
You had a really long one.
The Village of the Dead, the Unjukini Mystery.
So we'll be talking about those on the Boogeyman Radio After Dark, which will be right after this show on our Patreon page. If you have not been to our Patreon page, you can go over there and become a patron. And
Yes.
you get access to the After Dark as well as any other features that we might throw up there. We're kind of kicking some around. But you get weekly content, so that's cool. For those of you that can't or don't want to become a Patreon, obviously we're still doing this show here.
Which is okay.
But we appreciate you guys jumping on here and joining us for this, because without you, we'd probably just be talking to ourselves.
Which, I mean, I already do that, but it's fine.
Yes. We should come up with a topic for next week.
Yeah, well, we get everybody here. Why not?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Okay, so
Put some suggestions out there, people.
Yeah, what do you guys think? Do you have any suggestions of what we should talk about?
Like, we should do something with ghosts.
Paranormal?
Ghosts.
Paranormal ghosts?
Well, I mean, paranormal is a broad term for everything.
That's fine.
It's fine. It'll be fine.
Paratainment?
Entertainment. Let's see.
The ghostly kind.
We could review ghost footage. The internet
Yeah,
ghost
we
footage.
could. We could talk about cases. We need to go to a location.
We do.
We haven't been to one since October.
Yes. Hey, by the way, today's our 50th episode.
Woo! Thanks for being here, everybody. Love y'all.
I'd set off fireworks, but I'd burn the house down.
Same.
Let's see.
That's the best you're gonna get. Sorry. That's it.
It works for me. I don't know. Do we want to do a possession one?
I mean, we can. Sure. We haven't done a possession one in a long time.
We haven't.
Possession stories. I don't know. When we looked up possessions the last time, didn't seem like there was a lot of great material. But of course, I did find that one about the boy that I was hoping to dive into a little bit more, but I can't remember what it was now. But it took place in Mexico. I could have sworn, but there was that possession thing that happened not too long ago where the kids, like, I guess there was like a huge possession case out in oh gosh, somewhere in Asia. I can't remember where, but like just a bunch of random things started happening. Or we could watch possession videos. theories on why ghosts exist.
We could talk about that. I mean, that'll
We
fill up
haven't done a general discussion board in a while.
Yeah, we can just do a general discussion. We'll take down some questions, and we'll just kind of talk about them throughout the
Yeah.
show.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah. Hell, what do you think about maybe having a third guest, like somebody
Sure.
guest appearing and discussing it with us?
I'm cool with that.
All right, I'll make some phone calls.
All right.
I'm acting like I have a Rolodex of names.
Thanks,
already.
Josh, for the idea. We really appreciate your support.
And how?
Yes. You guys really do make the channel, and it means a lot to us that you're all here. So we really do appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely. Like I said, there's a new episode of Haunting History that's available. It came out Sunday. You guys go check it out if you haven't seen it. We'll be back here next week, same time, same place, with a general ghost discussion. Sounds good?
May the luck be with you, and happy St. Paddy's Day for all my Irish friends.
Yes.
On Thursday. But
I'm going to be drinking with you.
Yeah, I'm excited.
All right, guys. Have a good night. Stay
Night.
safe. Wear rubbers. Galoshes.